What's going on? So, what did I think about the Magic Johnson, Stephen A. Smith suck up on First Take? That was embarrassing. And Magic ought to be ashamed of himself. He's one of the worst basketball analysts I've ever heard. Loved him as a player. As a matter of fact, I think he was a better player overall than I would even say just as a point guard because he beat you in different ways. That means he's one of the most dominant players ever. I think he shortchanges himself. I know he does. But the reason why I had such an issue with him is because his top five for point guards. You don't have Oscar Robinson, and you grew up with Oscar Robinson. Who are you panhandling to? You know good and well that no Chris Paul is going to be ranked ahead, no John Stockton. What are you on? Of course, Stephen A. Smith, 1 minute he's all lovey-dovey about Steph Curry. When Magic's on, he says who's number one. I'm going to tell you like this. I'll take Steph over Magic as a point guard, but I'll take Magic better than him as an overall player because he impacted the game more and he was more dominant, you know. But you can debate that. But you got to have Isaiah Thomas third or fourth. You got to have Oscar Robinson in there. And you got to have John Stockton. Look, all due respect to Jason Kidd, he ain't touching those cats. He ain't touching those cats. You can't have no top point guards, and I mentioned the Big O. But see, this is the kind of mess that Magic be on all the time. And he just be saying stuff to try to appeal because, again, when you ain't got your teleprompter up, you'll say anything. And Stephen A. That was just so embarrassing. And then they up there talking about the Lakers and stuff and all that mess, as opposed to talking about Halliburton, talking about Shea Alexander, talking about the finals. It's the same old talk where he gonna do some round talk, and he don't really articulate it that well. He really doesn't. You know, same old beat down, tired stories about where Kevin Durant and all that, which Kevin Durant should consider retiring. He wants to clap on people. Wish he would clap over and got something to say because I tell him, I said, man, you should retire. You just be changing teams right now. It's like putting on deodorant. Different stick for a different city. Man, it's embarrassing. The more you keep going because it ain't going to get back to what you had in Golden State. It's not close. I don't care about you talking about some gold medals and all the All-Star game and all that, man. You ain't no championship player no more. Pinky toe aside from what? That's been, 4 years ago. If Giannis ain't going back, you sure as heck ain't going back. And that mess in Phoenix was a disaster and embarrassing. And it went from one extreme to another. Now, Magic talking, like, look, man, you need to pay homage to Oscar Robertson. That was embarrassing. And your Big O should be anywhere from your 1, 2, 3 slot, 4 slot. You can't leave him off that list and talk about some Chris Paul. CP3 is one of the biggest choke artists in the postseason there ever was. Good, like regular season, legit. But he wasn't better than no Gary Payton. What you talking about, Magic? That's just embarrassing what you say. And then you have John Stockton in there. Can't no one take your mess serious. Of course, you're going to have Oscar Robinson, John Stockton there. If you didn't want to put Jerry West, and you might make him closer to it too, but Oscar Robinson should be there. Remember, it took Russell Westbrook, took 40 years for someone to break that man's record. Let that sink in. Come on now. So, yeah, and all that slurping was just, say that for 7-Eleven, all that gulping, say that. Just embarrassing. You know, I didn't tell Magic, I said, well, you always slurping Michael Jordan. To me, you was just as great. Now, you weren't as athletic as him, but you beat people in more. You were a hybrid of Pippen and Jordan on offense. And let me tell you something. A versatile offensive player is as great as defense. Yeah, I said it because if you can beat you with just scoring 2 points, that's a mastermind. You can't teach that. You can't teach that. Pat Riley said, I need you to score. He could do it. Need you to get rebounds, assists, could do it. Need you to, just the hustle plays he did. When they beat Portland 91, that was a defensive play because he threw the ball at the other end and ran the timeout. So he was a coach, quarterback on the court. You can't teach that. That's overall dominance. Steph ain't got that. I like Steph a whole lot. He ain't got what the Magic could beat you because if Steph Curry don't score 20 plus points and get some assists and some boards, they don't have a chance. Magic, and before people say, was Kareem worth it? No, Magic ran that thing where he got others involved and he could always get his. And hit a game winning hook if he had to. But he shortchanged himself. But I don't want to see that slurp fest with him and Stephen A. That was embarrassing. But anyway, please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm all the time. Peace.